Jaylen, your shooting has picked up over the past 20 games. How are you feeling out there as far as your three-point shot is going?
I'm feeling comfortable. I'm just being aggressive, feeling healthy, just getting ready for the playoffs, trying to, start ramping up, taking your game to the next level.
Ime talked about your assists. That also you had 6 in this game here. How are you feeling out there? Drawing double teams and playing in the crowd. That's been a big conversation over the course of the.
I'm just playing basketball, being aggressive, making the game simple. And sometimes we can overcomplicate things. Just making the game simple, making the right reads, the right passes, and shots fell tonight. We guarded pretty well tonight, so that's always good.
And Grant had been struggling throughout the past month. Finding him in the corner. What's it like? How much does it help when he's out there making the plays that he's making and hitting those shots?
It's great. Peyton, Grant, D. White, when they come off and be aggressive, that's super important, for our team, and we need those guys to feel like they have the go ahead to do that, to be aggressive. And I'm proud of all of those guys. They've been coming in and really stepping up late in the season. It's been really good for us.
And we haven't talked to you, I think, since Rob went down. What was your initial reaction to hearing that, and how do you feel like you guys are making up for his loss?
Yeah, Rob is a key component to our defense, right? So while he's out, we got to find out and figure out different ways, to be aggressive, but also, to tighten up the details. Rob covered for us a lot in a lot of different scenarios, and now it's almost a different group, different lineup with him not out there. So we got to do a lot better. And I think today was a good game. We played against a team that was hungry, that was going to come out and play hard regardless because they have nothing to lose. And they played well last game against Dallas, where they beat Dallas by 30-plus points. So we knew they were going to come out and be aggressive, and I think we almost kept them under 100. It was close.
Thanks.
I know this changes on a game-to-game basis, but right now you guys are in second place, game and a half out. Just what does that say about how far you've come from, say, early January?
Man, we've come a long way. We still have to take it just one game at a time. That's how I'm looking at it. Especially getting ready for the playoffs. I missed the playoffs last year, so I'm just trying to go into the playoffs healthy.
Talk before Jaylen about making the right play and just kind of trying to play that way throughout. Over the past couple of months, has that been kind of a main driver of what's allowed you guys to go on this run that you've been on, just by trying to have everybody do that?
Yeah, making the right play, playing good basketball. And I think we've made tremendous leaps in our spacing. So a lot of those reads become easy. Seeing the floor, and just being aggressive and putting ourselves in positions to do what we do to the best of our ability. So right now we, trying to find ways to, keep that same defensive intensity without Rob. But right now we still look and feel pretty good.
I know when you got asked about your vaccine status back in September at Media Day, you said it was a personal decision, and I want to respect that. But at the same time, since then, the rules for Toronto have changed. So I just want to give you a chance, if you want to clarify your status or to be able to go for the playoffs if there's games there.
Well, last year I missed the playoffs. I had a season-ending injury with my wrist, and this year, from a competitive standpoint, I'm excited and ready to play against anybody. As a vice president of the Players Association, it's a part of my job description to protect our players' rights and our medical privacy. So you won't hear me comment on my status or anybody else's, but that's how I feel about it.
Thanks.
Jaylen, this game's a little bit of sort of a full circle moment. When you look at this amazing stretch you guys have been on, it really started with the game against the Wizards on January 23rd down in Washington. Could you have foreseen at that point you guys playing the way you played and getting to this point? And if you could, what was it that you guys, saw that the rest of us didn't see that you guys could turn it around the way you have?
So if you look back on my comments from, early in the season, I never lost faith, never lost hope. I know like things seem to be bad. I was always optimistic. So it's relieving to be at this point where it seems to be like everybody sees what I saw from the start. And I think we still have a lot of room to grow. I feel like the stars are aligning. We just got to make sure that, we take care of business. We come out, don't be too distracted. We take it one game at a time.
You mentioned how well Washington was playing coming into this game. They haven't had the greatest season, but they were playing well coming in, and you guys really handled them. How much of a game like today do you feel like is transferable to the playoffs?
Defense travels. So, that's one thing we got to hang our hat on. And without Rob, we've tried to figure out and been figuring out different ways. And today was an example of that. We had a quarter where we gave up 37, but for the most part, against a team that played really well yesterday, I think we limited them to a little bit. But, as we play these next couple games, I think defense is where we got to hang our hat. And that's what is going to travel in the playoffs and stuff like that. Hitting shots, being aggressive is important as well, but getting stops is important.
Jay King.
Jaylen, you brought up how last year you didn't play in the playoffs and how you want to ramp up for the playoffs now. How eager are you for that opportunity after missing out on it last year? And how do you kind of, how does your mindset change as the playoffs arrive?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I'm extremely eager and excited for the playoffs. Like I said last year, having to watch and knowing that you can contribute and help our team is important. So for me, it's just like the mindset is just, breathe in, meditate, and get ready. Make sure your body is healthy, and that's all I really ask for. I don't really care about none of the awards or whatever the awards that I got snubbed or missed out on. The only thing that I wanted to do is come in and be ready for the playoffs, and that's exciting to me.
Gary Washburn.
Jaylen, Jason went on Draymond Green's podcast and just talked about you guys' relationship and how close you are and how you motivate him and how he roots for you and you root for him. Has all of the talk about your relationship strengthened your relationship, and whether y'all should be broken up and all that? Did that make you guys closer together and stronger?
That's another good question. You can say that. I think I never let it. So I felt how I felt about JT before they started asking questions or after. It didn't change. I don't let others' interpretations and what people might be saying online or determine like my relationship with somebody else. Like it was people that was questioning if we was friends, or I even seen people say that we didn't even like each other. I'm like, where did they get that from? Like it was almost as if they made that up. But I guess in a sense, because so many people have talked about it, like it's forced us to talk about it more. And I guess it has enhanced our relationship in a sense.
Wrap it up right there. Thank you, Jaylen.
Appreciate it.